Greetings, students. On your handout, there is a link called the Spread of Slavery Timeline. It takes you to this website. I'm going to teach you how to use it so you can answer a few questions after the video. This is an interactive website, really cool. And what we have here are the years, right? And we're studying the antebellum South, which ranges from 1790 to 1860. So you can see that this is the actual time period we're studying right now. Then you have a drop down menu that gives you different categories. You can look up the enslaved population, you can look up free African Americans. You can look up free population and all free persons. So there's a few different things you can look at. Okay, and it's going to help you understand population, which we're going to move into next in the next lesson. So we're going to require that you do a little exploring to answer some questions. So let's start with the enslaved populations. You can see that the numbers here show you the value of the colors. And when you drag your mouse over those colors, it gives you numbers too, to give you more details. So basically, the darker the color, the more enslaved there are in that area. So we have a huge amount of slaves here in 1790, right? 1790. And we just looked at the cotton gin, right? So this cotton gin was invented around this timeline, and we read that it impacted slavery. So this is what the United States looks like around that time period. So let's leave it on this category. We're going to stay on the enslaved population, and we're going to toggle the year so you can see the change that happens. So we read that there's an increase in slavery over time. Now you can actually see what that growth looks like. It's very insightful, and it helps students when they're thinking about what they're reading. So let's say I stop about 1860, and you can see, as we read, the cotton spread across the South, and so did slavery. Okay, so you can see an example of that. Let's try a different category and then I'll let you guys go. So one more. Let's look at free African Americans, and they're in green, not red. So remember, the darker the color, the more dense that population, right? So those darker green areas have more free enslaved than down here, right? This is pretty light. Okay. And oh, I'm already on 1860, so we can go backwards. Let's see what happens when you go back to 1790. Okay. All right. So you are now going to open up this link on your handout and answer the questions that follow.